big warm welcome to the Body Love Revolution Summit. Today I'm joined by Anj. Anj is a pretty incredible woman. I'm going to tell you a little bit about her. So Anj Woodford is a natural health and physical wellness coach. She supports community with naturopathic inspired holistic nutrition and physical wellbeing guidance. Anj is also the founder of a thriving group called the Gold Coast Women's Health Networking Page. You can find that on Facebook, and Anj has some pretty incredible guests there, so definitely follow her page. But a big warm welcome to you, Anj.
Oh, thank you, Emma. That was beautiful intro. Yes, I'm a bit flattered. Thank you. Yes, because I have never done. Well, I've been interviewing lots of people, but I have never done for myself. So thank you for the opportunity, and I truly appreciate it. And I might be a little bit nervous.
This is true, and you're often in my seat. You interview lots of women in their preferred modality, and you're always the one holding space for them. But this time it's your time to actually share how you support women. And of course, this Body Love Revolution space is such an important one for gaining body acceptance, body confidence, awareness, and particularly with women. So I want to ask you, Anj, can you share with us why you're particularly passionate about adopting a holistic approach to natural health, emphasizing nutrition and physical well-being as a nutritional counselor? Can you give me your take on this?
Yes, it is a bit of a story. Years of, like trying to, as a woman, being told you're too big or you're too small or you are, or maybe you're putting on weight, and then you're constantly trying to change the diet, you're constantly trying to work harder and not realizing how much you're putting on your body, pressure and stress. And then and years later, now I'm realizing that is not, that is not sustainable, or that is not the way you treat your body, because your body, I might be looking great from outside, but then inside is like, constantly thinking, when is my next meal? Or do I look, how do I look in this dress? Or is my tummy too, poking out, or things like that. And eating extra leaf, worrying about those kind of things, it's not sustainable. I realize now that and then, so being a natural health counselor and then physical well-being is what I meant by that is, I have been a fitness trainer for 8 odd years now. But at the beginning, I tried to do like regimented thing, but then I didn't feel happy in myself, because that is not how I would like to be treated. Or, give me 10 burpees. But the next day people can't walk. People have back issues. And then is it really helping them? Or is it how it's supposed to feel? And years after, I did not want to follow that. I didn't want to put people in do diet, or comment on them, like, eat less, or, or drink more water if you're hungry. I had to stop saying those comments, because I wanted to encourage people to feel great in themselves, and then, and not feel ashamed about who they are and where they are at, like physical like any well-being side. If they're trying every day everyone wants to be better, right? Everyone wants to look good. Everyone wants to feel good. But then when you put those bombard with those kind of comment, and they completely shuts down, and they don't want to do, no matter what I'm doing, people are saying those kind of things to me, so I don't feel like it doing anymore. So it's not sustainable. It's not,
I
Yeah.
agree, Ange. That old, and we've had a conversation about this, that old way of punishment as opposed to nourishment. And exactly what you're saying, that punishment, they're doing enough of it themselves without getting to training and going, drop and give me 10, or I want this, or I want that. We're already in that state of not good enough and beating ourselves up anyway. And it's really not helpful as we go to visit our personal trainer for them to do that. And we never honor our body. On a day where you're tired and you're told to do burpees, or on a day where you're tired, or it might be that time of the month, or it could just be that you're actually a little bit sad that day and you need a little bit of tender care. You don't need to be flogged.
No.
That's like you say, it's not sustainable. And with your whole counseling approach, that's the tender way to do it. And I know that you come from a very holistic approach now. So even if you were to talk about your approach now, when the trainer treats you as a whole person, excuse me, tongue twister, when the trainer treats you as a whole person as opposed to just a client, what are the key benefits that can be experienced in the fitness and the nutrition journey? Because I know that's your approach, which is holistic. So can you tell me how you've shifted your work from your earlier days of training to now treating the client as a whole? How does that work?
So for example, when people comes to me in the past, I would think that I have to make them do lots of cardios and lots of, and then comment will be like, oh, you look great in that outfit. Oh, you look tiny, or you look small, or, or you look slim. And I thought I was giving them a motivation, like a boost, is not knowing what's on the other side, right? How am I causing them think, oh, I have to stay like thin like this, or whatever they're going through is stress or whatever. Maybe I want to keep this stress to keep me thin or whatever. I didn't know that part of the side. So now these days, when my client comes to me, I would rather start with, how is your sleep? How was your weekend? And how are the kids? And when you ask all those things, I didn't have a good sleep, or I had a great sleep. So great sleep means she can push a little bit more than usual, and she will be in a better mindset towards push her a little bit herself and feel stronger in herself. And these days, instead of commenting about how they look from outside, I would say, oh, wow, you can lift this much now, how amazing. Or, if they can stretch further than they used to, and your range of motion used to be like this, and now it's like this, I start commenting in those kind of things, than focusing in the outside look. And then if they ask me for the food advice, I wouldn't say, okay, just cut out everything. No, try slowly.
Yeah.
Try slowly and be kind to yourself, give yourself if you don't want to do it that day, okay, so sit back and, think about it. Why don't you want to do that way? Or why do you want to eat junk food that day, because you didn't have a good sleep, so you're craving all the food that you shouldn't be eating, or if you're feeling yuck, and maybe have you drank enough water today, or those kind of things, instead of. So I hope I'm answering your questions, because
Yes, brilliant. Because, Ange, I love how you've defined your own journey. 8 years ago, the way that you trained and helped your clients, to now, just through that beautiful evolution of getting feedback from clients and realizing it's not that simple. It's not that simple to say, let's just bash ourselves up, beat ourselves up, and you're going to get results. And often having an outside motivation, such as, I want to look good in the dress, yes, can work for a certain time. But I like to believe, and speaking from my own experience, that strength and range of motion is potentially more sustainable as I move into my wiser years as a woman, as opposed to necessarily having to have the size X, Y, or Z, that has become less important to me as opposed to a really well and healthy body. Also, Ange, do you feel like, considering a holistic lifestyle change, what positive outcomes can they anticipate? What are some of the, like, if we look at holistic improvements, we've said like range of motion and strength,
Yes.
but coming from a different approach, a holistic approach with nutrition and movement that you're coming from, what are some of the other benefits your clients have?
So first of all, they have lots of fun when they come to a class, because we are supporting how they're feeling on the day, right? And so every time they look forward to come to your class, because you're not pushing, or you're not judging, or you're not, you are there for them truly, to support them for who they are on that day. So they look forward to it. And when we have fun, and when we take care of our clients truly, and take them as a whole person, I think and it's sustainable as well, Yeah, on the day when they're feeling like doing yoga, and no, you can't do yoga, you have to do strength training. When you do that, they totally lose that excitement, and lose the not motivation, but they are coming there for as a chore, not just just because you want to, so I think sustainability, and then consistency, I would say, and fun. Enjoy it. It
Yeah,
should be fun. It should
I
be,
agree.
and that
Because we have taken on, for some of us and some people who might be listening, if you're a perfectionist is driven by box ticking and getting everything right and saying, yes, today I did my 60 minutes, I did my strength training, I did my, what day is it? If it's leg day, it's leg day, despite having tired legs, or if today is arm day, despite going, oh, shoulder's not feeling great, but no, it's arm day. The perfection in some of us can drive to that behavior, but there's no joy in that. It is box ticking to say I did it.
That's me for
Yeah.
long. Yes.
For a long time, yeah. And then would you say, when you live your life from that place, just pushing through, there's no joy in this, just tick the box because it has to be done this way, that kind of attitude, or living through that with your body and your life, what's the negative of that?
The high chance of injury, and then mental stress.
Yeah.
And then sometimes when I was doing diet, so what would happen is, because I'm starving hungry, right? And my mental state is not, I can't take care of my kids. I'm not myself. And so when I'm journaling, I would ask myself, is it really worth it? Is it worth my kids' happiness, my family's happiness? And I have never told anyone, Emma, about this, but I struggled a lot with eating. I didn't even know back home that I had an eating disorder, but now being aware of all the, from all my health and wellness educators, I have learned so much that I didn't realize that I had bulimia and all those things. But, and it was always quietly writing in my journal, is it worth it? Is it worth my family's happiness over this diet thing, So those kind of things, mental, health and physical, deteriorating because you are injuring yourself. And then even you can't do it, and you're like, oh, maybe I can do one more, pushing yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's a great question to ask yourself. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? And then allowing your own voice of wisdom to come out when you journal, because at the end of the day, it really is an inside job, and we have to go through this process. We can't outsource our body love, our body acceptance. It really is the internal work, and journaling and asking yourself, is it worth it, when you are experiencing that discomfort or that pushing through when you know that it's not feeling great. That's a
Yes.
great tool. So now, Ange, having said that, your experience and all of the education you've gone through yourself and the people that you work with in your beautiful group,
Yes.
what would you say your body love or body acceptance journey is now? How does Ange feel now with all of this knowledge? How do you feel now as a woman?
I wouldn't say I'm 100% woo, but it is like, I can look at myself in the mirror and I can do high five to myself, like Mel Robbins says. I don't know if you're aware
Yeah.
of Mel Robbins,
Yeah.
but at the beginning, I used to cry. I would look at myself and cry. It's strange that being able to look at yourself and being able to say you're worthy, you're loved, you're amazing, and I couldn't do that at the beginning, but now I'm like, and you're in this mission, and your vision is so much bigger than yourself. Be kind to yourself, then you can look after other people. So yes, and I'm ready to roll. Yeah, in times there are times when old habits try to creep in, but then like I do journal, and I ask myself, is it worth it? How do you want to feel now? One of the coach I met in the event last week, she told me about you. She said, oh my goodness, I can't remember her name, but anyway, she said, I was going on that, depression mode. I used to have depression and then overthinking. And she said, Angela, I have no disrespect towards your past, but think of, how do you feel right now? How do you want to feel right now? So that has been my mantra since I met her. How do you want to feel right now? I want to feel like on top of the world. So how am I going to do that? So nourish yourself, give yourself some time for self-care. Drink water, or have a plenty of sleep. And catch up with the friends who will uplift you and who would give you some guidance. Yes, and so yeah, that is where I'm at. Did I answer your question?
You certainly did. And you're absolutely right, Ange. Even though you've come so far with your body love and body acceptance journey, it's not all the time, but to be able to look at yourself in the mirror now and give
Yes.
yourself a high five and say you are enough. And yes, it's not every day, but there are some days that you can do that. That is a great body acceptance journey to come from an eating disorder and to come from a place where perfectionism had you working out and pushing yourself to the limit, to come to a place where you can actually look in the mirror and have some days where you feel like that.
Yes.
The other thing that you said that is important to, which I believe, it's who we surround ourselves with. Yes, our body confidence and our body acceptance journey is an inside job, but I feel it's very much influenced by the people that we connect with. And this is where, I feel the diet culture, it's time to question it.
Yes.
When we're listening to that narrative, or we're in company with beautiful women that we love, but if they're talking about the next shred, the next diet, the next detox, the next clean eating, which is all just sneaky words that are put into the diet culture to have everybody, and you said it, starving, hungry, and crazy. You didn't say crazy. I'm saying crazy, but starving, hungry, which makes us crazy. You said it. You can injure yourself when you're in that hunger state. You're trying to push yourself, and then you're not making great decisions. And the people that we spend our time with is so crucial. And what a tremendous gift last week, your coach saying to you at the event, no disrespect to your past, but how do you want to feel right now? When we can surround ourselves with great women like that, that can just, that one thing, there's your new journal prompt. Is it worth it? How do I want to feel right now?
Yes.
Whereas if you had potentially had a conversation with somebody else, it could have kept you in that spiral.
Yes, yes, absolutely, yes. And then another important thing I think that would be really helpful for our community would be the body affirmation. So so what can we say is, oh, instead of saying I don't have abs, you know, because I have studied, so I know if you don't have the abs, you won't be standing. You'll be literally like this.
Yeah.
So I'm so grateful that I can stand straight. And, instead of saying my flabby arms, I can hug my kids, you
Mm.
know, and, anything that it's the affirmation I think when you put the love in your body and, you're so you are in a peaceful mode and your body start working with you, not
Yeah.
against you, when you're happy and when you're in that peaceful mind and you keep working, where you want to improve in, you keep working, and then at the same time use the positive affirmations for your body, so I think that is what I do. From if I'm everyone's People say, oh, what are you complaining about? Hey, we all have our thing, right?
We
But
do.
yes, yes. And instead of judging ourselves, we just say, thank you for letting me stand today in these legs. Or
Mm.
thank you for my core for holding me straight. Thank you for my back for holding me, pulling me back and being able to walk. All
Yeah.
those things.
It
Yes.
is
So,
reminding ourselves of that simplicity of, yes, it's the practice of gratitude and appreciation, isn't it? And that
yes.
is also another powerful. And I do love your language, even around shifting from your body's strong, your body's flexible, your
Mm,
body's, the able part of our body. Because it's easy for us to all have a pity party and we could all, sit here and pick ourselves to pieces. But
absolutely.
it's boring. It wastes time and energy when we could be, like you said before, and part of you shifting through this is because you've got bigger work to do. You've got people to help. And while we're focused on ourselves and worried about things that really don't deserve as much energy as we give it,
No.
it's then stopping us from doing all the wonderful work in the world. And I
Yeah.
feel like that's part of this work too. I know some really incredible women out there, and because they have a narrative that their body is not what it should be to show up in the world, it stopped them from bringing greatness to the world. And that's
Absolutely.
this whole Body Love Revolution Summit is to say it's time that we actually take our power back and say no more to ridiculous beauty standards and ridiculous diet culture, and say, no, we are enough just as we are. And we all come in different body shapes, sizes, colors, and it's
Yeah.
all enough. It's
Yes.
all enough. Yeah.
Mm, absolutely. I really wanted to share that this is such a beautiful idea what you have come up with, and and we all need to, I think we all need to put the voice in, and together be louder and let women have their be who they want to be or
Yeah.
how they want to show up, or and that is the true support that we are going to give women. And when we say we support women, but do we really support women, you know
Yeah.
so yeah, and thank you so much for this beautiful thing what you're doing, and it's such a pleasure to be part of the voice. And then yes, thank
Thank you,
you.
Ange. And I appreciate your work. Like I've said, everybody, the Ange's page, her Gold Coast Women's Health Network page, I'll pop the link in this video so you can follow Ange there. And you interview some truly incredible women most weeks. Often I'll sometimes see you maybe 2 or 3 times having a
Yes.
chat with an incredible woman in our community, or perhaps farther. Everyone works online now.
Yes.
You really do bring some incredible women into our eyesight for them to support us. So thanks, Anj, for all the work you do. And I cannot wait to see what happens at the back end of the year, because I know you've got some exciting things happening. And if everyone follows your page, they are going to get to watch that journey.
Yes.
So again, thank you, Anj. Thank you for your time. You are always a wealth of knowledge and an absolute ray of sunshine to talk to. So thank you, my love. Thanks for your voice and sharing.
Thank you so much, Emma. Thank you. I truly appreciate you. Thank you.